Last year I got to play on the Specialized Stumpjumper Carbon Comp, a well-known and super fun trail bike that's playful and manoeuvrable, yet capable and hardcore. I took it on my local marked trails, down some off-piste single track, and even to a bike park, and it was great on all of these. As mountain bikers, it's easy to live in the constant fear of being underbiked for the terrain we ride. We always want the newest and most capable bike, thinking that it will somehow make us better and faster riders. But does this actually work, or is it more important to get a bike that's fit for the type of trails that we ride? So I want to test this theory today. Is a bigger bike better in all scenarios, or should we actually tailor our bike to the terrain? Today I'm going to test a hardcore trail bike against a kick-ass Endurobike. The idea is that I'll race them both on 3 different stages: a red trail section, a long technical climb, and a steep natural single track descent. I want to see which one is fastest in each of these different types of trail to see if one bike's better all round, or if different bikes are more suited to certain types of terrain. So this is not a test to see if one bike brand is better than the other. I'm interested in seeing how the bike's design lends them to perform better in specific conditions. That way we can work out if you should be looking at riding a trail bike or better suited to an enduro bike. And it'll also be a bit of a laugh. So, the bikes today are the Cube Stereo 150 Endurobike and the Specialized Stumpjumper Carbon Comp Trailbike. I love riding my Cube Stereo. It's fast and agile and can literally handle anything I throw at it. It will definitely be a tough one to beat on the downhills, but how will it perform on the uphills and the more casual terrain? The Specialized Stumpjumper you may remember. I borrowed it from YouTuber Adventure Trails MTB. I think that the Stumpjumper is one of the best trail bikes money can buy. I rode it for a few weeks before making this video and know how capable this bike is. Now, as I edit this video, I genuinely don't know the outcome, so I'm just as excited as you to see which bike performs better in each test. So, now that you know the challenge, let's head up to the start of the first trail. This is a really fun descent section called Grumpy Man's Gate on the Red Trail at Oldham Forest. I've ridden this many times and it's got a good variety of features. The segment starts here at the top of the descent and follows the trail all the way down to the end of the downhill here. The trail has plenty of corners, a couple of rock gardens, it's fast and even has a few small jumps at the side of the trail. A good first test for the bikes. So this challenge will let us know which type of bike should be best for you if most of the trails you ride look like this. So let's get the first stage underway. With the first stage complete, let's look at the results. So the times from that first stage look like this. Blimey, that's close. The Endurobike was only 2 seconds slower than the trail bike. I'm actually really surprised to see that both bikes are so evenly matched. The trail bike is extremely nimble on the more casual descents, but this being a descent, the Endurobike makes short work of the roots and rock gardens. In fact, the Endurobike was faster on the steeper part of the course, but when the trail flattened out and started to go uphill, the trail bike managed to work its magic. But nevertheless, there was only 2 seconds difference between the bikes, and it's still anyone's game. Let's move on to stage 2. Our second stage is the uphill challenge. The climb is basically in 2 parts, and it starts here at the bottom of the hill. The first part takes you up the winding fire road to about the halfway point. Although this is a fire road, there are some steep sections. This is also a long stage, so I'm going to need to preserve some energy. The second part is a more technical single track climb, with a couple of rock gardens thrown in for fun. This is a sustained effort to the top and one that you would typically find at a trail centre. So this challenge will let us know which type of bike you should be looking at getting if you regularly ride terrain like this. So let's get going. And the second stage is done. Let's head straight to the scoreboard to check how they did. So here are the times for the second stage. And the Trailbike takes the win, being a full 20 seconds faster. Its geometry is much better tailored towards uphill climbing. Its hardcore capability handled the uphill rock gardens with no problems. To be honest, the Endurobike was great too, but the slacker geometry just made it a bit slower over the technical uphill sections. So with 2 stages down and 2 wins for the Trailbike, we move on to our third and final stage, the steep single track. For the last stage, I've picked a long gnarly piece of natural single track spanning all the way down the hillside. This is truly a sustained effort and one that has many different challenges. Starting at the top of the hill, this trail heads along some flatter technical rooty terrain. This will require a decent amount of pedalling to maintain any sort of speed. Once out of the flat rooty section, you head into the woods. This is all close quarters riding and can absolutely drain your speed if you mess up a turn. As the trail opens out, you get a bit of speed behind you. Visibility isn't always great around the corners, but you need to make good time on these steeper sections. Then you hit the steep, rutty S-bend. This thing has a technical entrance and is awkward to navigate. Once you're past this, you then have a fast wood section, and then a flowy sprint out onto the fire road to finish. With the Trailbike currently having the faster times, it will be interesting to see how both bikes compare on this terrain. This is definitely the toughest stage yet. And as I say, I genuinely don't know the results of the race yet, so I'm really excited. I would expect the Endurobike to perform faster on this stage, but will that be the case? And if so, how much faster would it actually be? Let's find out. What a spectacular performance by both bikes, and what an awesome piece of single track.
Oh, tough that one.
With all the stages complete, let's get to the bit we all want to see. Let's look at the times. So the Trailbike finished the steep single track in 4 minutes and 4 seconds. The Endurobike finished the course in 3 minutes 46 seconds. So the Endurobike takes the win on the final stage, beating the Trailbike by a full 18 seconds. So the Trailbike took the win on the red trail and the uphill challenge, and the Endurobike won the downhill. So I hope this video helps demonstrate which type of bike is better suited to different types of terrain, and the bigger, slacker and more aggressive isn't always the best option. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button, and of course don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.